Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Stealing from small businesses definitely does have a real impact.
A growing safety crisis, the impact retail crime is having on businesses and shoppers in our region.
People of African descent have been living and working in and around Nova Scotian waters for over 400 years.
Hundreds of years of marine history. A traveling exhibit highlights the maritime contributions of African Nova Scotians.
Fog along with patchy showers and drizzle for the Maritimes tonight.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Well, good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Bruce Frisco. Maria is off this week. First at 5 this evening, the real cost of retail crime. It is one of the fastest growing challenges facing retailers today. Business owners across the country have reported increased violence during theft incidents, and the impact is being felt by employees and shoppers alike. CTV's Vanessa Wright spoke with business owners today who are navigating the fear and the financial stress, and she joins us now live with more. Vanessa.
Hi, Bruce. Well, this is a problem that is keeping police in our region very busy, and the concern is how often and violent these thefts are becoming.
Retail crime has no bounds. This Halifax children's store, one of the latest targets.
It had a really big impact, I would say, on small businesses like ours.
Owner Ivy Lou says her staff were left shaken after her store experienced a robbery last month.
Two of them acted like distracting my staff, while the other two went to the back and came back to the front with a plan to take merchandise without paying.
Despite the store's expensive security systems, she says the suspects left with more than $500 worth of goods. And over the weekend, police charged a youth after a robbery at the Halifax shopping center turned violent.
The youth then left the store and was confronted by several security guards, at which point the chemical irritant spray was produced by the youth, and the security guards and one store staff member was contaminated by the spray.
The suspect in that case, just 14 years old.
I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I'm not.
It's an issue Jim Cormier with the Retail Council of Canada has been sounding the alarm about for years.
People don't care. They know that they can just waltz into a store, they can steal what they want, they can threaten store employees, they can actually assault store employees, and then waltz right back out. Yes, there are some changes that are happening, and they are positive changes. We're finally seeing more police on the streets in Halifax, and in Moncton, and in Fredericton, and in St. John, but we need more.
For now, a price businesses are having to pay. And to anyone with plans to steal, Lou says think twice about its impact.
You are not affecting someone who is, faceless. You're actually affecting a family. You're affecting local workers, because all the staff that are working within our business are all local, and they're relying on their job to bring food to the mill, to pay for their mortgage.
And Halifax police maintain that no one should confront a potential suspect. They suggest calling 911 and leaving the rest to them. Bruce.
Good point. Thank you, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Wright reporting live tonight from our news center. Okay, now we'll head over to Todd Battis, who's working on CTV News at 6 tonight.
Right you are, Bruce. An emergency shelter meant to help folks in New Glasgow has caught the ire of that community. Persistent problems of vandalism and crime have prompted Town Council to close North Star, the facility. We'll have more on that story with Emma Convey, who is in Pictou County tonight. A new round of U.S. tariffs are set to hit a wide range of Canadian exports just after midnight if negotiators can't come to some sort of agreement. It's a move that will have far-reaching impacts on the Maritimes. Businesses, consumers, everybody's watching this one pretty closely. We will have a live report from Washington and some local reaction tonight. And with prices rising for just about everything, experts warn consumers it's going to be a rough year ahead. A lot more challenges. Inflation here in the Maritimes outpaced the rest of the country in July. We will hear how it's impacting the bottom line for folks around here. Kayla Mitchell is in the Weather Center taking a look at how the weather is affecting everyone. And depending on where you live, you're either wet or you saw some sun.
That's right, exactly. So it ended up being a pretty dreary day for the province of Nova Scotia. That's where the showers, the drizzle was most widespread today. A couple spots of showers for parts of Prince Edward Island, areas of New Brunswick. The most sunshine breaking through today around northern and western areas of New Brunswick. Now, temperatures right now, as we're headed into the first part of this evening, are mostly sitting around the low 20s. There's a few areas that are closer to the mid-20s, including Edmundston, the northwest of New Brunswick, and a few parts of the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia. And there is some humidity in the air. So when we take a look at humidex values, it's actually feeling up into the high 20s and low 30s for a good portion of the region. Dew point temperatures as well up to the high teens and some near 20. That is when we find maybe a little bit more of an uncomfortable level of mugginess. And the humidity rose for a couple of reasons. One, the showers moving through, and two, the fact that we've been in a southerly wind now over the past 24 to 36 hours. That's keeping that muggy air coming up the eastern seaboard. So the winds right now being sustained mostly between about 10 and 20 kilometers per hour, a little bit higher than that for a few parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. A couple gusts being reported between 30 and 40, but that's about it. Over on radar and satellite, you can see the cloud cover in place across Nova Scotia, and we've got some scattered showers that are still on the go there. And back through New Brunswick, a couple isolated showers. I'll have more on the forecast, though, when I'm back a little bit later on. Bruce.
Right you are. Thank you, Kaylin. Well, they've been gone from Earth for millions of years now, but one of the largest sharks to ever live still provided a family with the find of a lifetime recently. NBC's Ted Greenberg has more on their prehistoric discovery.
My hand compared to...
Their hunt for cool shells on the beach led to this jaw-dropping find that turned out to be millions of years in the making.
I almost fell over. Like, I was sitting there, like, my knees were shaking, and he's like trying to speak, but like nothing was coming out.
Mike Bowers and his 11-year-old son, Bo, discovered the huge fossilized shark tooth wedged in a rock jetty along the beach in Sea Isle City last week. Bo's hands were small enough to yank it out.
I was like shocked and like excited at the same time.
The family from Western Pennsylvania says they showed the tooth to experts at the New Jersey State Museum and Cape May Whale Watch and Research Center. Both confirmed it came from the mouth of a Megalodon shark.
It's an amazing sighting. You know, that family's really lucky. There's only a handful of recorded findings of Megalodon teeth off of New Jersey's coastline.
Extinct for more than 3 million years, Megalodons were massive, an estimated 50 to 60 feet long, the largest shark to have ever lived.
It is actually the best conditioned Megalodon tooth I've ever seen. It was pretty incredible.
So how did the tooth end up here? Experts speculate that it may have been dredged up with sand from the ocean and then pumped ashore during a recent beach replenishment project.
It's actually a lot heavier than we both thought it would be. What are you going to do with it?
Keep it.
A prehistoric souvenir found during a Jersey Shore vacation this family will never forget.
Isn't that something? Okay, we've got lots more to come in this Tuesday edition of CTV News at 5. In fact, next, we'll head to St. John for this story.
I'm Avery McRae at the St. John City Market, where this weekend the festivities will unfold to celebrate a market milestone of 150 years. Keep it here on CTV News at 5 for all the details coming up.
When young people need someone to talk to, Kids Help Phone is there. Grab your golf clubs and support mental health in your community. Join the Kids Help Phone Golf Classic September 24th on the links at Brunello. To get involved, go to kidshelpphone.ca.
CTV and the PEI International Shellfish Festival have teamed up for our Shellfish Lovers Getaway Contest. One lucky viewer will win a couple of weekend passes, tickets to Feast and Frolic, 500 shellfish bucks, a 4-night stay at the Arts Hotel, a $300 gas card, and more. To enter, go to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts, or you can just scan the QR code right there on your screen. You can enter once a day until Saturday at 5 p.m., and the winner shall be announced on August the 28th. Good luck. Well, the St. John City Market is set to hold the first of many celebrations this weekend to mark 150 years since it opened its doors. So just ahead of the party, CTV's Avery McCrae stopped by the country's oldest continuously running farmers market.
Wade Tyler has lived in St. John all his life, and he has no shortage of market memories.
As a child, I used to come to the market, and I used to do a lot of fishing. So I would bring my fish here and sell my fish to the market.
Today, he is the head cook at Jeremiah's Burger and Fries inside the 150-year-old market, something he never thought would happen.
I've been working as a cook for 30 years, and this has been actually my dream.
On Saturday, he and the rest of the St. John City Market staff will hold the first of multiple celebrations to mark 150 years of operations. It makes it the oldest continuously running farmers market nationwide.
We've been planning this one for a while.
The celebrations will include a street party, multiple stages of live performances, and no shortage of family-friendly activities from 3 to 10 Saturday. Market manager Andrew McDonald says 150 years is a milestone worth commemorating.
All the locals that are in and out here every day that all have their own stories tied up to the market as well, intergenerational stories that we hear all the time. Very exciting.
Vendor Jeffrey Plord has only been in the market for 5 years, but it's clear to him what makes this place the landmark of St. John.
I'm meeting all kinds of different people from overseas, all over the world.
Because a trip uptown isn't complete without a stroll through the market, even for locals.
Oh, City Market's awesome, man. It's been here for years. I mean, it changed a lot up here, a lot of construction going on.
That construction of a new seating area, as well as finishing touches on revamped vendor spaces, is expected to be completed by October, the same month the market first opened its doors 150 years ago. Avery McCrae, CTV News, St. John.
It is a very remarkable market as well, so congratulations. 150 years.
It looks like a great place to spend a couple of hours on maybe a bit of a gloomy August day.
Which sounded like the perfect segue to what we had today.
Exactly. A little bit cloudy across the Maritime region for today. The most persistent wet weather, though, was in the province of Nova Scotia. Some areas of showers and drizzle. We're looking out here at Tin Can Beach, of course, near St. John.
St. John, yeah.
And I'll have more on the weather forecast coming up after the break.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5 for this Tuesday evening. Is that it for the rain now, or are we kind of easing off, or more to come?
No, we're going to have a little bit of damp weather that lingers into tonight, though it's eventually expected to kind of ease to some patchy areas of some lighter showers and drizzle, but it will be around. And there's going to be some fog around the region for tonight as well. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset times, and for that, we're going to go to First Lake in Sackville, Nova Scotia, and I'm going to credit our videographer, Mike Lamb, for this pun, where it was a bit of foul weather for today. Yeah, we got the ducks there on the shoreline. There's our sunrise and sunset times for the provincial capital regions. Let's take a look at our weather systems map. So we talked about this yesterday, but it was a combination weather front and low pressure system making its way to the northeastern United States that has brought us sort of the cloudier and in some cases damp weather conditions for today. This weather system is not particularly fast moving, so some of the somewhat dreary conditions are going to be lingering for tonight. You can still see we have areas of showers scattered across Nova Scotia and some drizzle in between. The most persistent showers and drizzle today have been up and down the Atlantic coastal counties of that province. There have been a couple of isolated showers, though, have popped up for parts of Prince Edward Island and areas of New Brunswick as well. Lots of fog expected in the Maritimes as we move into and through the overnight hours. So for the start of the day for tomorrow, that is expected to be around the region, along with some pretty cloudy conditions and likely some patchy showers and drizzle around Prince Edward Island and eastern areas of Nova Scotia. Here's a look at the visibility outlook heading into the start of the day for tomorrow. You can see fairly widespread across the region. There is a potential for visibility to be low or reduced very early in the morning because of the presence of that fog. Now, that would be dissipating as we move from the morning into the afternoon. At that point in time, visibility would be improving. Another thing that's going to improve for tomorrow, sun's going to break through a little bit more. Not for the entirety of the Maritimes, but for some areas. And that includes much of New Brunswick as well as western areas of Nova Scotia where the sun shines through. Expect a very warm and muggy feel to the air because humidity has risen a bit for us. So the humidity will slowly come down through the end of this week. Remains a little bit cloudier, though, around Prince Edward Island, eastern areas of Nova Scotia, even into Wednesday afternoon. And there will still be a chance of showers there. And the other part of the region to watch for a shower or thunderstorm mid-afternoon into early evening is northern and western areas of New Brunswick. Chance of a couple pop-up showers and thunderstorms driven by daytime heating for that part of the Maritimes. Taking a look at the winds in the forecast for tomorrow, they are going to change direction a little bit. Mostly a west and southwest wind on Wednesday. It'll be sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with a few gusts between 20 and 40. Temperatures for tonight don't cool off all that much because of the cloudier conditions. In some cases, the fog, the drizzle, the showers holding on. So most of the lows will be around the mid to high teens for tonight. And taking into account the humidity, humidex values making it feel still into the 20s. And speaking of 20s, high temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow for a good portion of the Maritimes will be around the low to mid 20s, but feeling in some cases up into the low 30s when you take into account the humidex. Coming up the forecast for Thursday around the Maritime region, it's a bit more of a mix of sun and cloud, and the high temperatures will be around the mid to high 20s. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And here's our weather watcher. It's 8-year-old Ronan. And Ronan has sent us a drawing of fishing with his dad while some noisy crows fly overhead. Oh, and they do make a lot of noise, don't they, Ronan? Great job on this drawing. Weather watchers can come in anytime at CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or you can email me at kalen.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Bruce.
Ronan might have a career there ahead, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a good illustrator of crows. Okay, for the first time since 2010, a pipe band from outside the United Kingdom has won the World Championships. That band, in fact, is Canadian. And as CTV's Sinjin Alexander tells us tonight, it was far from their first win.
In the world of pipe bands, it doesn't get any bigger than this. These are the best of the best. 2 days of breathtaking yet grueling competition, the pinnacle of the piping calendar.
Simon Fraser University Pipe Band from Canada.
This year, the team from Simon Fraser University wowed the crowd. The players seemed to click, firing on all cylinders.
There was a cohesion to this group this year that I'm not sure if, I've felt it in other years, but I'm not sure I've ever felt it this much. All 4 performances felt really solid. People came off with a smile on their face, and as leader, it felt, never feels easy, but it felt like nothing was going to go off the rails.
The judges agreed SFU's performance was top class, beating 211 international bands and chosen world champions. No small feat considering 6 other teams were favorites, positioned to take it all.
We kind of come out of nowhere from the west coast of Canada.
We won't call you the upset, but was it a surprise?
It probably was. It was a bit of a surprise to me, to be honest.
After all, the last time a team outside the United Kingdom won was way back in 2010. Sinjin Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
Congratulations to them. Okay, coming up next on CTV News at 5, We and the Sea.
Letting people know that the fishing industry was a livelihood for those folks that were in this area.
It's a new exhibit providing long overdue recognition for African Nova Scotians and the sea. That's next. Stay with us. Okay, check this out. Some stunning images now to show you from people competing for the 2026 Ocean Photographer of the Year Award. They've captured everything from fish protecting their young to human impact on the water, both good and bad. The competition is divided into a range of categories. A new one this year is titled Ocean Unseen Hidden Worlds, which turns the lens to the ocean's smallest and least seen inhabitants. The winners will be announced next month, and it's going to be some tough choices there. Well, a new exhibit honoring African Nova Scotians who helped shape the province's marine industry is underway. CTV's Vanessa Wright takes us to Lunenburg for a first look.
For more than 400 years, African Nova Scotians have been an integral part of the province's marine heritage. Now, their contributions are being recognized.
Far too often, their stories have been left out or haven't been as highlighted to quite the extent that they deserve.
The exhibit is called We and the Sea. You'll find it inside the Fisheries Museum of the Atlantic in the heart of Lunenburg.
What we've tried to do is highlight individuals from many different walks of life.
With illustrations of fishers, sailors, shipbuilders, and those who worked in coastal communities.
Men and boys that worked at sea, women and girls that worked in fish processing facilities, naval heroes, real sort of pioneers in different fields.
The traveling exhibit will make its way around the province. It debuted at the Black Loyalist Heritage Centre in Birchtown, and after it wraps up here in October, we'll head to the Black Cultural Centre in Cherrybrook.
It just goes to show you that journey along the South Shore as well, from here, to the bigger city of Halifax. But also, I think the main focus here, letting people know that the fishing industry was a livelihood for those folks that were in this area.
A history that many are still uncovering.
Several of my family members also, and still today, are involved in the fishing industry. And it begs to, I guess, differ to say that information was not shared with us, where certain individuals, such as Raymond Farmer, which would be a descendant of mine, owned up to 3 fishing boats in this industry, and that's a big deal.
The comments that we received from our visitors and from community partners, and from beyond, really they highlight just how much interest there was in these subjects and just how overdue this exhibit is.
Knowing it's never too late to honor pioneers who left their mark on maritime history. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Lunenburg, Nova Scotia.
Boy, I bet you that'd be a fascinating one, eh?
I think so as well.
Yeah,
yep.
For sure. So, still a little bit of rain to come.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit damp around parts of the Maritimes tonight. Again, mostly for the province of Nova Scotia, being a little bit closer to that weather system that made its way out of the northeastern United States. As we work a little bit later into this week, though, Bruce, we're going to see the sun break through a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the humidity will begin to come out of the air as well. It's a little bit higher right now because of the south wind that we're in. So we do have some change to look forward to as we move towards the end of this week. It's nice to get a little bit of wet weather, though. And
it is, yeah.
Just pretty much hear the lawns out there kind of soaking
begging,
it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about that coming up at CTV News at 6.
National news continues.